Next up on our checklist, downsize risk. There are a lot of things that can pose a risk to your retirement, but part of getting organized is to make some steps to downsize those risks.
And the most common risk that people are thinking about probably right now when you say that is the market risk, because every day almost that market will move, and it's going to move up and it's going to move down. And when the market moves down is when you really don't like that market risk. But when things are good, it feels really good. But when you're 40 years old, the type of market risk that you can afford to take, that you feel comfortable with taking, is probably substantially different than when you're 2 years, 1 year, or even in retirement. And so at this point in time, you need to reevaluate what type of market risk are you taking. You need to reevaluate what comfort level of retirement risk, market risk you need to take. And you also need to look at, based on your lifestyle plan, based on the resources that you have, how much risk should you be taking to make sure that you can accomplish your goals? So all of that needs to go into your market risk evaluation to determine, are you where you need to be risk-wise, or should you make some adjustments? And when the market's up, is a great time to make adjustments if it's deemed that you need to make some adjustments. The last time you want to make, or the worst time that you can make these types of adjustments, is when the market's way down. So now's a great time to evaluate this, make some changes that are necessary, and if there's no changes that are necessary, you feel really good about it because you're in the place you need to be.
If someone at home is going, I don't know how much risk I need to take to achieve my goals. I feel like I'm in the mid-cap portfolio or the 2035 or whatever they're doing inside of their 401k. That's definitely something that you can help people through, at least start the conversation in a Retire Ready call, and then maybe move forward to a visit if that makes sense.
Yeah, when we look to build out somebody's retirement plan, that's one of the first places we start when we start with market risk, is how much risk are you taking, and do you feel comfortable with it? Are you taking too much risk than what you feel comfortable? Do you need to take more? Do you need to take less? And then we also couple that conversation with how much risk should you be taking to accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So no matter where you are now, more risk than what you feel comfortable or less, you feel better because you know what the outcome is, and you also know what kind of changes you need to make to put you in place that you need to be from a market risk standpoint.
And our checklist item is downsize risk. So we've talked about markets, some other things within there that can be part of the conversation, laws that are constantly changing, long-term care if you should need it. And another one is taxes. Let's talk about the risk that taxes can pose to retirement.
Yeah, on the surface, tax risk actually is one of the biggest risks that most people have going into retirement, because your retirement tax bill can be substantial. And a lot of people look at taxes, most likely because you've always paid taxes, and how different could it really be in retirement? But the difference is in retirement, to a large degree, you can control what your tax bill is. When you're working, it's very difficult because you're getting paid W-2. And really, to change that, you can contribute more to your pre-tax 401 or IRA, or you can take a pay cut.
Right.
That's not very attractive to most
No.
people. But in retirement, if you create what we call tax diversification, then when you take income from these different buckets of money you have, the income you take from this bucket is going to be taxed differently than the income you take from this bucket and this bucket. So together, taking income from all of these different buckets, if you create that tax diversification, you can generate the income that you want for the lifestyle that you want, but the tax bill off of that can be substantially less. So that sounds good on the surface. The hard part is you have to work to create that tax diversification. And when it comes to decreasing your tax risk, that's where we start. Here's what you have now. Here's where we're trying to get to. What are the important steps you have to take to get there to decrease that tax risk?
And that's something you want to start ahead of time. That's not something you can do it a couple years from retirement, really, but 5 to 10. If you're 57 and older, that's when you can really start making some moves that can put you in a better tax position.
Yeah, decreasing all of these risks, time is your friend. You do not want to wait until you're a year out from retiring or even retired. If you can start 5 to 10 years out from retiring, that is ideal. But if you're sitting there saying, Loren, it's too late, I'm a year out, I want to retire next year, that doesn't mean it's too late. Now is the time to get started, whether you're a year out or 10 years out. But the more time you have on your side, the better plans you can put into place.